I like my suit. Nice, form-fitting, attractive. Well, even if you don't like it, we're going to talk about speed suits / swim skins. A lot of people call it by different names. Pardon me while I move my gear out of the way. So we're going to talk about the option when you are not able to use a wetsuit or you don't want to use a wetsuit during a race. I highly recommend and tell all my athletes, make sure you have a speed suit or swim skin, whatever you want to call it. I call it the same thing. I call it a speed suit, swim skin. For me, it's interchangeable. Maybe somebody else out there has a different idea of what it means. But basically, it's anything that is not neoprene, it's not rubberized. And that's what I'm talking about. And you get it from very many manufacturers kind of over that. But I want to hit the high points of swim skins, speed suits, why I think you need them, why I think you should have them in your closet, just in case you need them. We have to know the conditions USAT guidelines, and this goes for Ironman. They adopt the USAT guidelines. When you can use wetsuits, when you can't. Between 76.1 and 83.8, they're optional. You can wear them, but you do not qualify for age group awards or USAT points or anything. But in between, you can use a speed suit because it is not rubberized, it is not neoprene. Below 76.1, you're good for wetsuits. If you want to wear one, if you don't want to wear one, still wear a speed suit. 82.8 and above, you cannot wear a wetsuit, period, but you can still wear a swim skin. So something to consider, because we're going to hit the high points. All these different conditions for wetsuits, you can wear a speed suit at any time if you don't feel inclined to wear a wetsuit when you can, or you can't wear a wetsuit. Can use speed suit, swim skin anytime if it's approved. So this is a link. It's clickable on my thing here, but you can't see it. Maybe I'll post it in the video comments or something like that. But basically, USAT has a list of manufacturers that submitted to them of their speed suit, and then USAT said, yes, these are approved. We're okay with this. So there's a long list there. So if you want to start with someplace, that's a good list to look to see what's approved already. So if you want to go out there and find a suit off the shelf or something like that, you can go through and find what's approved and already go. You're good to go. If you've got one and you're wondering about it, there's an email link on that web page. You can go through and click that link and then email them like, hey, I got this speed suit. Is this going to be okay? Because you don't want to be there on race day and you're wearing a speed suit and somebody comes up to you and goes, is that approved? And you're like, I don't know. And they look at the list. It's not on the list. You got to take it off. So you don't want to be there being like, oh, crap. You know, I counted on having a speed suit and now I can't wear it. Get this covered now. Especially, we're talking about off season a lot. Kind of my focus in making these videos at this time. If you're thinking about a speed suit, make sure you do your homework and get the right speed suit, and so you don't have to worry about or get it checked, make sure it gets approved. But the key thing to know is they cannot go past the shoulder. So a speed suit, to me, is not what you would get if you're like going surfing, like body glove stuff, because sometimes they'll be short sleeve and they'll come down to here. It has to be sleeveless. So it has to stop at the shoulder. So these would come up here. Maybe I should have worn this for the video. So it cannot go past the shoulders. I also have a different one that I have working as well. So it cannot go past the shoulders. It cannot go past your knees. So again, the body glove type stuff, they may not be a full wetsuit, but they may go past your knees. So if you come up with a speed suit and a body glove and you didn't realize the rules, short sleeve and it goes past your knees, it kind of looks like a capri pants. They're going to either disqualify you or tell you to take it off. So make sure you get the right stuff and it works. Like I said, this one's a little bit wider in the shoulders, but it does not go over my shoulders and it comes right above my knees. So I have a full sleeve tri-suit that I wear. So my tri-suit actually comes down to here, but that's fine. As long as if you want to wear that, that's fine. But if you're wearing like a swim specific speed suit, it cannot go past your shoulder, but your tri-suit can stick out underneath. That's not a problem. But the advantage of a speed suit is when you put it on, it is stretchy. It is elastic. It will compress your circumference of your body a little bit, so you have less surface area to drag in the water, so it'll suck you in just a little bit. It's kind of like wearing a garter maybe, or Spanx for you ladies out there. So it sucks in everything, so you got less circumference to go through the water. It adds some buoyancy. These are not rubberized, but they're water resistant. So while you're swimming, it does help kind of your body or your other tri-suit where you're wearing underneath, soaking the water and dragging down a little bit. So it is a little bit buoyant. It reduces drag from suit pockets. So if I'm wearing a tri-suit, I've got pockets on the back. So as you're swimming along, they are tight, but some water will catch you there and it'll slow you down a little bit. So this covers, or if you're wearing a two-piece tri-suit, and water kind of hits your waistline and kind of might create a drag situation. This covers everything up, so it's a nice smooth line across your body to reduce drag as you're going through the water. And there are plenty of used suits, like I said. So this is where we kind of dive into brands and all this other stuff. There are tons of brands: Roka, Corka, there's DeSoto, there's Zoot, Quintana. I don't know if they make a speed suit. There's tons of them out there. Like I said, a good place to start is look at the list of what's already approved. And just hit eBay and just do a search on eBay. This is a women's speed suit, but it was like a small or something like that. I don't know the size on here is anymore, but it was or a large women's fits me just fine. So this was my first speed suit that I bought. It was $20 off eBay. It's not $300. It's not $150 that you buy on a website. I know Xterra makes some, and if you were a part of my group, you should have access to the discount code. So you can go on there and get it at least discounted if you want an absolutely new suit. But this has been fine. The letters are pink, but hey, nowadays, guys are comfortable with their Amanda. They can wear pink if they want to, and if pink's your favorite color and you're a guy, no problem. I got pink. Nobody's ever said anything to me. So I've gone out. I'm wearing women's suits. Fits just fine. I didn't have any problems with them. It's used. It was great. $20, best purchase I ever made. I also found this. I think this was a local deal. Someone was selling it, and I actually kind of like this one a little bit better. It's a little bit more comfortable. I wear this on all my races now. I bring the speed suits. Maybe if I go to the pool, the neighborhood pool during the summer, if it's a little cold, I wear that because it's chlorine, and it kind of eats things up a little bit. So I don't want to use this one when I use races, but this is what I use race now. I found this used. I think I paid another like $20, $30 for it. New is probably over $100, but it's great. I've tied up the string in the back, so all I have to do is swim it along, and I reach back, pull it, unzip it, bring it down to my waist, and just take it off in transition like anything else. It's not a problem. So there are tons of brands out there. I highly recommend making sure it's approved. It should not be rubberized of any sort. If it's like the Body Glove brand that is specifically for like surfing and water sport activities, do not get one of those, because those are rubberized or neoprene. They're water resistant or repellent, whatever the problem is. They got rubber in them, so you cannot use them. You will be either disqualified, or they'll tell you to take it off in a race if they're paying attention at that time. Especially if you're doing like a USAT, nationals, or some other event like that. They're very sticky on that. Doing a local event, they may not be as up to speed. They may not say anything, but I would highly recommend making sure that it's approved. I've used this for 7, 8 years and never had a problem. I've never had a problem with the other suit I had. So make sure. I tell everybody, price is a problem. It's not a problem because you go out and buy them used. They don't restrict your movement at all. Even if you get a size too small and it's a little bit compressive, it's not nearly as compressive as a wetsuit. So you won't have a problem going out there being like, oh, it's just too much. Even if it is and you're wearing it, it's not going to keep you necessarily any warmer than not wearing one. So personally, I'm not using it for warmth. I'm just using it for a little bit more buoyancy. I'm using it for reduced circumference of my body so I can have less drag going through the water. So that's my main things. So if I get to a point, if it's 76.1 or lower, I got my full sleeve and I'm wearing it. I'm putting it on. I don't care. I don't care about. I don't really get hot in my wetsuit, so I'm good. Full sleeve wetsuit. Anything above 76.1, wearing a swim skin. Local races, smaller races, usually I'm competing in my age group and for first through third. So I don't want to be bumped out of those if I happen to do well and I use a wetsuit. I've never been in an event where they were, maybe 1 or 2 events where they weren't allowed, but I've always used swim skin, never had any problems. So that's kind of a deep dive on speed suits. Key point number 1, have one. Key point number 2, make sure it's approved. Key point number 3, used is not a problem. Even if you go to eBay, spend $20 on a used one and it doesn't fit, it doesn't work, throw it back up on eBay and then go buy another one. You don't have to go out and buy a new one. But if you want to go out and buy a new one, like I said, Xterra, we've got a discount with them at the time of this video. So always send a note out to me. I'll give you the code. If you're watching this video, you have access to all my discounts. Just go on the website, hit the member site, the discount page. But that's the main points. Make sure it's approved. Make sure you have one. Have one. Have one. Have I said you need to have one? You should have one. Because if you don't have a wetsuit, maybe you don't like wetsuits or anything's going on, or you just need a little bit of comfort factor, you still want to compete for age group awards, it's always there. It does not take up that much room. You can fold these things up in a little bitty ball and stick them in your bag, in your transition bag, have them there. If you don't use them, if you use your wetsuit instead, then it's there. It's not a problem. I just need this in my transition bag all year long, and it's there if I need it. Especially races, you're kind of like on the fence, like, well, you bring your wetsuit, but it might be, might not be. Just have it, bring it, use it always. Like I said, it is convenient. It does add a little bit of warmth. You know, this one in particular, like I said, I use my neighborhood pool early in the morning, and after it rains or something, it gets a little bit chilly for me. So this kind of helps just a little bit to give you a little bit of warmth. So don't count out for warmth, but do use it for a little bit of buoyancy and a little bit of reduced circumference of both the body as you're running through the water. A little bit less resistance in the water. So that's the key points. Major one, repeat it with me. Have one. Make sure you have one. Go out and get one. They're cheap, used. Go get one. If you got any questions, send me a note as always, and I'll be happy to just wow you with more information on speed suits. Until next time, we'll talk to you.